Hey guys, I have a mouth and I must scream. Previously, I was the uncanny critic, but I decided that name was just not meaningful to me. I felt like it meant nothing, so I changed it. Previously, I used to do this thing called the nostalgia factor. I'm not really saying that that's over yet because I don't like to close doors and lock them, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I am now opening a door, like it's half open, and I'm trying something new. But also the same, because today we're gonna talk about Club Penguin. Nostalgia factor in a way, but it's not the same because I'm not gonna rate it, I'm just gonna talk about it in a way aimlessly, but also kind of reminiscing about it. I actually have thoughts. Club Penguin, you know? It's a MMO, so a massive multiplayer online website that existed from like 2005 until, let's say, 2017, until it was shut down because all good things must come to an end. And it was kind of like birthed out of goodwill and humble vibes, you know what I mean? There was one person who came up with the idea first, Lance Preeb, who was thinking of this like snowball war type thing for a game, and then he kind of partnered up with his colleague in this graphics and software company called New Horizon Interactive, which is now called Walt Disney Online Studios Canada. What do you know? That's where Club Penguin started. I think it had a different name before. I'm not here to like talk about the history of Club Penguin, but yeah, I mean, Club Penguin, even though it was bought later by Disney, which it was, by the way, let's mention that there was loads of merchandise and books, so they were milking it like crazy, but somehow, some way, somewhere along the way, they kind of lost the heart of the penguin. The penguin's heart could not be located. The Club Penguin's heart could not be located. Yeah. Despite this, you know, I'm not here to talk to you about how Club Penguin started from like a cutesy little vibey game to also still a cutesy little vibey game, but immensely more focused on making money, and it couldn't really do that without involving itself in the world of microtransactions. God, why do these words have to be so big? It couldn't survive. For me, very special part of my upbringing. I played it a lot as a child. My favorite part of it was the spatial part of Club Penguin. I'm really attached to spaces, especially I was gonna say graphic spaces, but that literally is not what I'm trying to say. Virtual spaces. I loved MMOs, especially ones that already had an IP. Like I loved the Barbie MMO. I loved there was a Tinkerbell MMO at one point. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But this one was just so special to me because I felt like it was just so neutral. Like I didn't feel like it was primarily a girl's space or primarily a boy's space, and I felt like it was just so fun for that. You know, you're a penguin. Penguins don't really have like a predetermined personality waddling around and being funny like that, you know what I mean? Like nothing comes to mind if anybody knows of the cultural implications tied to penguins other than being lovable, huggable, kind of dumb. And that's something that's like common amongst the human race, you know, but it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man or whatever. You know, we're all kind of a little bit dumb, you know what I mean? And so I felt very welcome there. But the art style of the MMO was so special. It had its own little cutesy vibe to it. I don't really use the word cutesy a lot, but we're going with it. Well, if we look at the island, which is obviously not to scale, at Club Penguin Island, I look at it now and I feel lost because I haven't been to these places, virtually speaking, because I literally can't go to them in years. So I don't remember a lot of them, but I do remember some of them very strongly visually. Let's talk about, for example, the pizza parlor. The pizza parlor, let's look at the pizza parlor. Who works there? You don't know who's working there. The pizzas look like they're gonna be set on fire at any moment because they're just there for the whole time you're there. There's like 3 tables, nobody's at the counter, nobody's playing the piano, but it looks like maybe there's like a money laundering scheme behind this because nobody is here. And also like all the penguins can just walk in and like mess up pizzas. That's a horrible idea for business if you ask me. But for me, the music of the pizza parlor is always just ingrained in my brain, ready to be summoned at any second of the day for no reason at all. And I remember the feelings I used to get when I played that mini game, which was very fun. I forgot what it was called, but you'd like make pizzas. And you know, I was someone who loved these cooking games, which is hilarious because I hate cooking now actually, but I could do it in a environment where there were relatively zero risks, because if I burnt a pizza then I know that my house wouldn't burn down and that would be fine. The nightclub, like, babe, too busy, meet me at the Club Penguin nightclub at 7 p.m. tonight. Never seen a nightclub that looks like this, but you know, I love it for that. Honestly, it's just so vibey. You can just dance there. I also don't think I've ever seen anyone dance the way the penguins dance in Club Penguin. It's very awkward, but also very penguin-like, and everybody dances the same. So that's something that really unites all the penguins in Club Penguin, despite our differences, which I will get into soon. There's also like never a DJ. There are some Puffles vibing there. There's an ominous stare on the corner. Again, money laundering scheme maybe. It was nice to be there, and I just have very fond memories of dancing there alone because I was too scared to befriend strangers online. And we had a coffee shop. I don't really remember going here a lot because why would I go to a coffee shop when I have a pizza place? You know what I mean? Also weird, looks like a money laundering scheme. There's no one there. And that's why I think to myself, okay, well, this is probably a bit sketchy, you know, but also it looks very cozy. But there's only like 2 sofas. Can someone explain that to me? But there is a back room kind of situation. There's a stair going up. I don't remember going up that stair. Maybe that's the bathroom. It probably is, but there's nobody brewing that coffee. So what's happening? The weird kind of interrogation type lights that are blinding the person who sits on the sofa. It's great. These places, you don't have to say that they made sense, but they evoked a certain vibe, and I love that about them. I wouldn't change it for the world. The gift shop, one of the only shops on the Club Penguin Island where you could actually buy clothes, you know? And I don't remember buying much clothes for myself because I was in one of the lowest classes of Club Penguin society, those without a membership. So I sadly couldn't really buy as many things as I wanted to. I guess it was a vibe too. It just was a very classist vibe. Pet shop though. Love the pet shop because I love my Puffle, but I could only go there like once because I couldn't really get many Puffles again. Key Village, that was super fun. Mini games that I really enjoyed there. Loved that. There was also, I don't remember where the mines were, but I loved that mini game. The cart surfer mini game there was super fun, and I could get coins there which I could use to get maybe a hat if I could really get it. I don't remember, were we able to get hats with coins, or could we not even afford that luxury as non-membership penguin? I do remember some of the lovely missions that I did, the spy missions, which was super fun. One of my highlights of playing Club Penguin is doing those spy missions because they were just insanely engaging. Club Penguin locations evoke great feelings of nostalgia because, especially when I think of the music in those rooms, like I just see the room and I could hear the music playing in my head. That's how powerfully designed these rooms are. And when it felt like it was this little island, I mean, it was literally an island that I could just roam around and pretend like I had no responsibilities in, which is exactly was exactly what was happening. Club Penguin's super fun, and I think it was a great way to introduce people to like the concept of social games, or games where you could really communicate with people you don't really know online, or just express yourself in a way through a penguin exterior. it also had some downsides because we learned consumerism at like a very, very young age. I mean, not saying that Club Penguin really introduces the concept, but it kind of sprinkles in the concept of, okay, well, you have to kind of pay to experience cool things. And it wasn't an MMO where you had like the insane, crazy amount of like a game ads within a game that are so obnoxious and you have to sit through them. And it's just a lot of them kind of try to trick the child who is playing into buying something by accident. But Club Penguin wasn't like that, but it kind of introduced that concept, like you have to get a membership to kind of access a lot of things in the game. So you can't really get a lot of puffles, you couldn't get a specific amount of clothes. You would literally see if someone else had a membership because of, I think there was a little crown that you had like in your profile. You showed off like your status by what you were wearing. Like, you know, someone had a membership by the stuff they were wearing, by the puffles in their igloo, you know. Also couldn't access a lot of parties and like events because of that. The website's got to make money somehow, but like think about that. Pretty sure that a lot of kids like kind of forced their parents to like buy a membership because they wanted to fit in. You know, kids don't think about purchases the way that they do now, grown up, because they don't really have the cognitive ability to think about the fact that maybe this isn't worth, I don't know how much, I don't remember how much it costed, but this isn't worth that money for just puffles, you know, virtual puffle. Club Penguin kind of creates a class-based society where penguins look at other penguins and say, wow, that penguin's stacked. And you know what? It's not a pay-to-win function, or it's not like based on, you know, payment, but it definitely influenced the opportunities for like the way that you could express yourself through your penguin and your puffle. It's not as bad as today. That's what I always say. It's not as bad as today. And although it's something that is weird and it did exist in a lot of other MMOs, but it wasn't openly normalized as today, where literally everything is like a microtransaction. You want an extra life? Yeah, like pay 20 coins. Oh, you don't have 20 coins. Guess you have to pay like $5. Like, it just keeps going, and you kind of accidentally, not so accidentally, like use your parents' credit card as a 7-year-old. I'm just glad that even as a child, like, I'm not saying that I'm not like other girls or anything, but even as a child, I thought to myself, okay, like, I don't really want to pay for this. Not me having class consciousness. Oh my god, this is Barbie's influence. Parasocial interaction. I love my Puffle. I loved my Puffle, you know? I don't know where he is right now. I think having pets like that in a game, an MMO, is so powerful because people get so attached to them, like to this virtual group of pixels together. And I certainly did, even though my Puffle was like the blue basic Puffle. And it's also like the same trick that a lot of these like Facebook games would play. I think Moshi Monsters is a great example. Just, you know, think that we should look back at it as this cultural product that was super cool and taught us a lot about the internet and expanded our little 2000s child minds to really experience the beginning of MMOs with hidden like cost, if that makes sense. I think we should let bygones be bygones and let's just make, you know, a nicer MMO. I don't think we will, because I think people are more interested in mobile games, and there's something, for example, that I don't like, because I think mobile games are insufferable in terms of microtransactions. But you know, it's what the kids like, and this is for kids. And that's all I have to say about Club Penguin, you know. Great times, great mini games, super creative art style, a lot of heart, a lot of love behind it, a lot of fans of it, a lot of crazy, amazing penguin personalities like Mr. Herbert. That's all I have to say. But yeah, this is a little bit of a kind of retrospective maybe of Club Penguin, talking about how it's maybe so powerfully nostalgic based on spatial elements and based on the fact that I just love my Puffle so damn much, but also how it kind of introduced consumerism to my 9-year-old brain. I mean, not my 9-year-old brain, but probably a lot of other people's 9-year-old brains, 10-year-old brains. Anyways, that's the end of my video. Yeah, see you soon, maybe in a year, maybe in like a month, we'll see.